Hi everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make Odie. I've already done Garfield and I will put the link in my description box if you haven't already done him, or just type in Rainbow Loom Garfield. So today, Odie, I will be making him exactly the way you see here. To let you know, the colors and the amount is approximately about 180 yellow bands. I'm going to use burgundy brown for his ears, which are about 70 bands. The black, 17. There are 10 red bands and 6 white bands. I am going to use one loom, and our loom is going to be in its original position with the arrows facing down. I am going to do some of the body parts and show you how to attach. Now I'm going to show you how to do the legs. I'm going to do 2 with you, and then you're going to pause the video and make 2 more. All we're going to do is, taking double bands, yellow, we're going to go down in the center 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to push these bands down. Now, taking double bands, we're going to go from the center down to the left, and then center down to the right. Double bands. Now, taking double bands, I'm going to go from the right down to the center, and then the left, using double bands, we're going to go down to the center. So I'm just pushing these bands down. Now we're going to fill in the middle, double bands. Just going to push down. And we need to take a single band and cap the end in the center 3 times. So you just want to give it a little bit of a push down. You don't want the bands to overlap. Just enough room for the single band. Now go around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're ready to loop up. So grabbing your hook, you want to reach in, moving this cap band out of the way and grabbing your top 2 bands. And they are going to the center. Reach in, grabbing the next 2 bands, and they are going to the left. Now on the left here, you want to reach in and just grab the bottom 2 bands, and we'll bring these up to the center. Going back to the middle, at the bottom here, reach in, grabbing the next 2 bands, and they're going to the right. Reach in on the right and loop up to the center. You have a lot of bands here, so make sure they're not going to fall off, and give it a little push down. Now you're just looping up, so you want to reach in, grabbing your bottom 2 bands. Now, because there's a lot of bands here, you don't want to just rip it up and go forward. I am going to slide around my peg, giving it a little bit of a pull, and then looping up. We're ready to remove off the loom, but what I'm going to do is, using my hook, I'm just going to lift up these bands here that are to the side and the bottom. Now you can reach in with your hook and remove off the loom. Now you're going to put this to the side. So just take off your hook and then put it just flat down in front of you. The reason why I'm saying this is because I don't want you to end up turning them around, so they're going to be facing the wrong way on the body. So now let's do another one together. So grabbing double bands, we're going to go down 3 times in the center. 1, 2, and 3. Push down. Grabbing double bands, I'm going to go from the center down to the right, and then center down to the left, giving it a push down. Now, double bands, we're going to go from the right down to the center. Double bands from the left down to the center. Just going to push down. We need to fill in the middle, so give it a push down, grabbing double bands, and place them going down once in the center. Now, we need to cap the end using a single 3 time. Again, give it a little push down and go around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're ready to loop up. So grabbing your hook, reach in, moving the cap band out of the way, and grabbing the top 2 bands and make a teardrop forward. Reach back in, grabbing the next 2, and they're going to the left. Reach in here on the left, grabbing your bottom 2, and loop to the center. You might want to push down. Reach back in at the bottom in the middle here, grabbing your last 2 bands, and they're going to the right. Reach in on the right, grabbing the bottom 2 bands, and loop to the center. Now we're going to reach in and loop up, but again, you want to push these bands out of the way, grabbing your bottom 2, and I'm going around the peg and then forward and loop up. Again, when you're going to remove, use your hook, lift up, and remove off the loom. Okay, so we are going to remove this off of our hook and just put flat on the table down. Now I'm going to show you how to do the face. So we're going to use double yellow bands, and we're going to go from the left up to the center and center down to the right. Using double bands throughout, we're going to go down on the right 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the left, we're going to go down 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to go down in the center with yellow double bands, and we're going to go down once. We're going to switch to white bands now. So double white bands, and we're going to go down once in the center. Now with our yellow bands, again, double bands, go down 4 times in the middle. 1, 2, sorry, we're only going to go down 3 times, sorry, and 3. Now we are going to close it off. So I'm going to go from the left down to the middle, push down, and I'm going to go from the middle up to the right. We're going to add holding bands now. So taking a single yellow, I'm going to make a triangle on the second pegs going down. Again, with a single yellow, and make a triangle below. Now in the next 2 areas, we're going to use a single yellow, but we're going to double it. So just a little bit of a stretch, double it, and making a triangle. Again, the same thing, single, double, and making a triangle. Now we are going to loop up 3 spots in the middle. What you're going to do is grab your hook, and you're going to reach in the middle and grab the bottom 2 bands. So move these bands out of the way, grabbing the bottom 2. You might want to hold down and loop up 1, reach in, 2, and 3. So now your bands are at the white. You're going to stop, and you want to push all these bands down. So just all these bands here, you want to give it a push down. Now we're going to make the piece at the side here, and I'm going to use the bottom part of my loom. I'm going to do both sides, and then we're going to loop. So grabbing double bands, we're going to go down 3 times. 1, and I'm going to go on the right. 2, and 3. Taking a single band, we're going to cap the end 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do this on the left. Double yellow, go down 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Grabbing a single yellow and cap the end 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And now for each one, we're going to start to loop up. So grab your hook, moving the cap band out of the way, and loop forward. On the left, reach in, and go straight up. Now we're going to remove off the loom, so I'm just going to do the right side first. And I'm going to turn my loom around. And I'm going to slide this on the second peg going down on the right. Give it a little bit of a stretch and slide on, making sure all your loops are on. Grabbing the piece on the left, remove off the loom, and attach this on the left side going down on the second peg. Now with your hook, I'm going to do the the right side first. You want to grab the 3 bands at the end, the 3 loops, which were our cap band. So grabbing all 3, and you want to slide on the peg, on the third peg. So going down, just the peg below. On the left side, grabbing the cap band, those 3 loops at the tip, grabbing all 3, and slide on at the third peg going down on the left. Now we want these to stand out a bit to the side. So what we're going to have to do is grabbing a bottom single from each one, and we're going to loop around the pegs. So you have 1 teardrop being used, there's the second teardrop, the third teardrop, and then your cap band. So moving on to the second teardrop, you want to grab a bottom single, just a single band from the bottom, and loop it around your second peg going down on the right. Now you have the next teardrop, so grabbing a bottom single band, you have your top section and then a bottom section. Just grab a single and wrap around your third peg going down. On the left side now, first teardrop being used, you're at your second one. You just want to grab a bottom single and wrap it around your second peg. If you make a mistake or you feel uncomfortable, really if you grab the wrong band, it's going to be okay. Grab a bottom single and loop it around your third peg going down. Now grabbing some black bands, I'm going to use double bands. And I'm going to go right on top of the middle section here, starting at my third peg going down. We're going to go down right on top, 1, double bands, 2, and 1 more time. Double bands. Now we are going to make the tongue, and I'm just going to use the bottom area. So this is where you need some red bands and a single black. So grabbing that single black, we are just going to give it a stretch and double it, and just attach to our loom. I'm just going to go below the chin. Grabbing double red bands, I'm going to go from the right side down to the center, and then I'm going to go down once in the center using double red bands, and I'm going to go down once on the right, push down, and now we're going to close this off. So I'm going to go from the center up to the right. Grabbing a single red band, we're going to cap the end here in the middle 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we need to use a holding band here. So I need a single band, and I'm going to double this and just go from the center down to the right. So just double and attach. We're ready to loop up, so grabbing your hook, reach in the middle, move that cap band out of the way, and grab your top 2 bands and loop up to the right. Reach back in the center, grabbing your bottom 2 bands now, and loop up to the middle. And now from the middle, you want to go up to the right. Going at the bottom here on the right, grab your bottom 2 bands, moving all these bands out of the way, and go up, reach in and grab your black, and go up. Now we're going to remove this off the loom, but I'm just going to use my hook to release some of this tension here. Reaching in, grabbing, and remove off the loom. And now we're going to attach this at the 4th peg going down in the middle. So you might want to just push your bands down, and we're going to slide this on, making sure that all your loops are around the peg. Now we're going to make the ears, and I'm going to do the left one first, and then we'll do the right one together. So I'm going to use the burgundy bands and double bands throughout. What I'm going to do is use the bottom portion of my loom, and I'm going to use the pegs here on the right side, just below the chin. And now what we're going to do is go from the right down to the center, and we're going to go from the center and we're going to stretch it down to the left. So we're going to miss this peg, and it's basically just a stretch down. Now going down twice on the on the left. We're on the left. 1 and 2. We're going to go down on the right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just going to fix it's twisted. Now we need to close this off. So I'm going to go from the right down to the center, push down, and the left down to the center. I want to fill in the middle now. So we're going to go down, and you should be going down 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. Push down in the middle, and we're going to cap the end using a single band 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we need to attach holding bands, and I don't like to say from here to here, but we're going to take a single band and we are going to double it and attach to these pegs right here. So you're going to have to look. Single, double, and slide on your pegs. Now we're going to take a single and double and make triangles going down. Single, double, triangle. Single, double, triangle. Again, one more time. Single, double, and triangle. This is what you should have. We're ready to loop up. So grabbing your hook, reach in the middle, moving that cap band out of the way, and grab your top 2 bands, and they are going to up to the middle. We're going to continue to loop up in the middle. So go up, up, and up. Reach back in at the bottom in the center and grab your next 2 bands, and they're going up to the left. Now we're going to continue to go up to the left all the way to the right. So reach in at the bottom, moving all these bands out of the way, and go up. Reach in moving that holding band out of the way. And now this might be tight because of the double band, so you just want to slide around your peg. Again, reach in, slide around your peg so your bands don't break. Reach in and go to the up to the right. I'm just going to give it it's a bit tight here, so you could just loosen your bands up a bit there. Reach in at the bottom, in the middle, grabbing the last two bands, and they're going to the right. Now you just want to loop straight up, reach in, reach in, and you can see that I'm just sliding the bands around the peg. Move these bands out of the way, and now it's ready to come off the loom. So I'm just going to release some of this tension with my hook. Do not take it right off without your hook. Sorry, so reach in and you can remove. I'm going to attach this on the left side, just sliding all your loops around your peg. Now we're going to do the other side, the right side. So we're going to take double bands again throughout, and I'm going to go on the left, right below the chin. We are going to go from the left down to the center, and then again we're going to give that stretch. So from the center, stretch down to the right. So you're just missing that peg. Going down twice on the right, 1 and 2. We're going to go down 4 times on the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to close this off, so I'm going to go from the left down to the center, and then center up to the right. We need to go down 4 times in the center, so I'm just going to push these bands down at the bottom. And 1, just to fill it in, 2, 3, and 4. We are going to take a single band and we're going to cap the end 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now again, you're going to have to look. We are going to take a single, doubled, and attach from this middle peg going down to the left. So double, and we're just making it straight or on an angle. Single, doubled, and we're going to make triangles going down. 1, 2, and the last one, 3. Now we're ready to loop up. So reach in, moving that cap band out of the way, grabbing your top 2, and they're going up to the middle. Now continue to loop up in the center here. Reach back in at the bottom in the middle, grabbing your next 2, and they're going up to the right. Now we're going to loop up all the way up the right until we reach the left peg here. Reach in, slide your bands around your peg, and give that stretch up. Reach in and go to the left. Reach back in at the bottom, and we're going to loop up to the left and go straight up the loom. Reach in, slide your bands around your peg and go up. Move these bands out of the way. Ready to come off the loom. So we're going to release some tension. going to reach in with my hook and now remove off the loom. I'm going to slide this on the top peg here on the right, making sure all my loops are on. Now we're going to make the eyes, and for the eyes we're going to be adding an extra band. So grab your hook and a single black band, and you're going to wrap this around 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you have 4 loops. Now you're going to grab double white bands, and we're going to wrap this around twice on either side. So 1, 2, 1, and 2. We're going to make another eye, so push this down. Wrap this around your hook, the single black, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 loops. Grabbing double white bands, you're going to wrap twice on either side. 1, 2, 1, and 2. Grabbing a single yellow, we're going to slide these on. So attach this to your hook. You can support with your finger, and it's going to be a little bit tricky to put these eyes on this single band. So you can just grab section by section. I'm at the next eye now. Just making sure that your yellow band stays on the hook. And we're ready to attach to the loom on the 3rd peg going down. Oh, forgive me, sorry. On the 2nd pegs going down on the left, and the 2nd peg going down on the right. Now, grabbing your hook, you want to separate the eyes to either side, giving it kind of a space in the middle. Now I'm going to make the tail, and I'm going to use my hook to do the tail. So grab your hook, and you're going to need 4 black bands and 2 yellow bands. So take a single black and wrap this around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you have 4 loops. Grabbing a single black, we are going to double this. Support with your fingers, attach to your hook, and slide the rubber band on. Now grabbing both ends. Again, single black band, doubled, attached to your hook, and you want to slide this piece on. Now grabbing both ends. One more time with a single black, doubled, grab with your hook, and slide on, grabbing both ends. Now grabbing double yellow, we're going to slide these black bands on. Support with your finger and slide on. Just going to grab both ends of the yellow, just kind of put in the center, and now you can remove and put to the side. Now we're going to do the body. You're going to need yellow and 4 bands of black. So we're going to do the neck now. So just push these bands down just a little bit in the center, and for the neck we're going to use 4 bands. Okay, and you're going to go down once in the middle. Now we're going to give shoulders, so push these bands down in the center, using double bands now throughout, from the center down to the right, and then center down to the left. Now we're going to go down twice on the right using double yellow bands, 1 and 2. Go down twice on the left, 1 and 2. Now switching to the black color, we're going to go down once on the right and once on the left, double. 1 on the right and once on the left. Going back to yellow, we are going to go down once on the right and once on the left. We're ready to close this off, so I'm going to go from the left down to the center and then center up to the right. Give it a push down, and we're going to fill in the middle now, and we're going to fill in 1, 2, 3, and 4 spots. The last spot is where we're going to attach the tail. So double yellow, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now grab your tail, and you're going to attach 2 of these loops at the above and the other 2 just below on the peg, making sure you grab all of them on. Now we need some holding bands, so I'm going to use a single yellow, and just below the shoulder area we're going to make a triangle, 1, another 1, 2, just below, 3, and 1 more, 4. So this is what you should have. We'll be attaching the arms in a minute, or the legs in a minute. We're ready to loop up, but we need a single band capped here at the end 3 times. So grab a single and go around at the bottom in the center 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to loop up just this area right here. So reach in at the bottom, moving that cap band out of the way and grabbing your top 2 bands, and they're going to the center. Reach back in, grabbing your next 2 bands, and they're going up to the right. Reach back in, grabbing the last 2, and they're going up to the left. Now we're going to grab the legs, and we're going to do one at a time. I'm going to attach the first one on the left side, so push the bands down. Now you should have left these bands facing or all flat. What you're going to do is grabbing your hook, going to put them through the loops. So if you look at this, the tip of your hook, your foot's going to curve in. That's how we want this on the hook. So if you have it the wrong way, you just want to take it off and put it on. So it looks like this. Now slide this on the left side. Grabbing your next foot through the top. Again, the tip, you can see where it's, we want the foot like this. So there's your cap band, it's facing the opposite way of the tip here at the end of your hook. And push your bands down on the right and slide this on. Now I'm going to loop up on the right to the tip here of the shoulder, and then I'm going to attach the leg on. So reach in at the bottom on the right and grabbing your bottom bands. You might want to hold that leg down. And loop up. Grabbing another leg, you're going to attach to your hook, and again, your cap band is facing the opposite way here of the tip. And slide this on the right side. Making sure it's all there. Now I'm going to loop up on the left to the tip here on the shoulder and then add the leg. So reach in, moving all these bands out of the way, grabbing your bottom 2 and go forward. Grabbing the next leg, putting on the hook, and you'll see the cap band facing the opposite of the hook here, the tip. and slide on. Now we're going to loop the shoulder area. So I'm just going to do the left here. Reach in, moving these bands out of the way and grabbing just the double shoulder bands, going to the center. On the right side, reach in, grabbing the bottom two bands. Now we're ready to loop up the middle. So we've already done one section. Reach in and go forward. Now we're at the shoulder area. So I am going to reach in, moving all these bands out of the way and grab those 4 bands and loop up. Now we still have to do his mouth area, this piece and this piece, and we'll be doing that in a minute. So what you want to do is reach in here. We just looped up the neck, grabbing these double black bands and loop up 1. We're going to loop up the rest of the black. When you get to this next set here of double black bands, you're just going to give it a stretch, not that much of a stretch. I'm going to put these bands back on. What I want to do is put this tongue through this teardrop. So put the tongue in the middle, give it a stretch with your hand, and bring that tongue through. Going to reach in and loop the next set of black bands, hold the tongue down, and stop right there. Now reaching back just below the black bands here, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Your 6th peg going down, reach back in and grab the next top 2 bands, and they're going up to the right. Sorry, I can't see. Reach back in, grabbing the next 2 bands, and they're going up to the left. Now what we're going to do is slowly remove the bottom portion of his body. So I'm just going to use my hook. And I'm just going to remove it up to his arms. I'm just going to leave him like that. Now we're going to do the bottom of his mouth first. And what we're going to do is I just need a small area at the bottom here. So using double bands, I'm just going to go from a middle peg and go up to the left, push down. Double bands, I'm going to go from that middle up to the right, push down. Double bands from the center here and go up to the middle like this. This is what you should have. I'm going to take a single band and cap the end here in the middle 3 times. So push your bands down a little bit and go around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Grabbing your hook, we're ready to loop. So reach in, grabbing your top 2 bands, going to the center, go back in, grabbing the next 2 to the right, the next 2 to the left. Now push these bands down and we're going to remove this off the loom. I'm going to start on the right side first. And why I said to push it, because it's really easy to come off when you don't want it to. So remove off the right side, then the center, and now the left. I'm just going to fix these bands so they're not so twisted. And we're going to slide this on double yellow bands. So attach to your hook, and you can just take section by section. I'm going to support with my finger, and you can just take a couple at a time. And now we're going to attach this at the end here at the face. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th peg on the left to the 5th peg on the right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loop up 2 spots, 2 sections on the right side. So these bands and then these bands. Again, you're going to have to look. So reach in on the right. It's going to be tension here, so you might just want to loosen this up, but it's still tight. So you want to grab your bottom bands and slide around your peg and loop up once. Reach in, moving that holding band out of the way. Slide around your peg and loop up. Stop, and we're going to do this to the left side. So no matter what you do, it's still going to be tight if you loosen this up. So reach in, grabbing your bottom two bands and slide around your peg and make that teardrop. Reach in and loop up one more time, slide around and go up. Now we're going to make the top part of his mouth. So grabbing some yellow bands, and you're going to need 2 black bands. What I'm going to do, using double, the bottom portion of my loom, excuse me, I'm going to go down once on the left, and go on the opposite side on the right and go down once. We're going to close this off. Double yellow, I'm going to go from the left down to the center, and then center up to the right. Push down. We need to go down twice in the middle. So I'm just going to start at the peg above, the right and the left, and go down one more time. Taking a single yellow band, we need to make a holding band. So we're going to make a triangle. And now we're going to make the nose. So taking a single black band, you're going to wrap this around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 loops. Single black, you're going to double it. Attach to your hook, pinch the tip of your nose, his nose, and grab both ends. And we're going to slide this at the bottom peg in the middle. So just slide on top. Now we are going to loop. So reach in, moving this nose out of the way, and grab the top 2 bands. I grabbed 3. You can continue to loop up this one in the middle. Reach back in the middle, grabbing the next 2 bands. It's going to be a little bit tricky, so just move the nose out of the way. And the next 2 are going to the right. You can continue to loop on the right, up once. Reach back in at the middle, grabbing the bottom last 2 bands, and go to the left. Reach back in on the left here, moving all these bands out of the way, and grab your bottom 2 here and loop up the left. Now you're going to remove this off the loom, the right side, the middle, and then the left. So reach in, remove off, the middle, and then the left. Now take it off the loom. So this is what you should have. Just give it a little tug. You can just fix your loops all around. And now here you'll have 12 loops around your hook. What we're going to do is the first 4 loops are going to go on your 3rd peg going down on the left. Your next 4 loops are going to go on your 3rd peg going down in the center, and your last 4 loops are going to go on your 3rd peg going down on the right. So I suggest giving everything a little push down on your 3rd pegs going down. And this is quite simple. You're just pinching with your finger and sliding on the 3rd peg on the left, removing your hook, push down, next 4 loops, slide on your 3rd peg in the middle, and your last 4 loops, you want to slide down on your 3rd peg going down on the right. My ear, turn it around. Now, we're almost done. We're going to loop up, and we are at our 3rd peg on the right, 1, 2, and 3. This part is going to be tight, so loosen everything up with your hook, move all of these bands out of the way, grabbing your bottom 2. You want to slide around your peg and then make that teardrop, or else your bands will break. Again, Move these bands out of the way. You can loosen up some sort of tension right here, grabbing your bottom 2 bands and loop up. You're at the ear now on the right. Move that ear out of the way and grabbing your bottom 2 yellow bands and go to the top center. Now on the left side, we're at the 3rd peg going down, 1, 2, and 3. So again, you can loosen up some sort of tension right here. Reach in, move all these bands out of the way and grab your bottom 2 and slide from the left all the way around your peg to the right and then make that teardrop. Reaching in on the 2nd peg going down on the left, loosen something up here, reach in, move these bands out of the way, grabbing your bottom 2 and slide around your peg and loop up. We're at the ear now. Move the ear out of the way, grabbing your bottom 2 yellow bands and go to the top center. Now we have to loop up the last section in the middle, so what last 2. So we're at 1, 2, and 3. We're at your 3rd peg going down. You're going to reach in and grab your bottom 2 white bands and go up. Reaching in at the 2nd peg now and loop up. Now you want to grab a single or even a double yellow band and we're going to do a slip knot. So putting your hook in through the middle, through all those bands, grabbing an end, grabbing both ends, and sliding over. Giving it a little bit of a pull here. He's ready to come off the loom, so I'm just going to use my hook. This is going to be a little bit tight, so just take your time. On the other side now. Remove the ears. Just going to stick my hook inside at the top here and just take them right off. So this is what you should have. I'm going to show you how to fix them up. The first thing we're going to do is hide the slip knot at the top, just so I can get it out of my way. So I'm going to turn him around to the back, so his tongue's in the front, turn him to the back, and I'm just going to put my hook through some of these loops here, grabbing the slip knot and bringing it towards the back. I just want it out of my way for a minute. Now, I'm going to bring his eyes to the front. So there we go. And now you can just turn the eyes around until you get them to the way you like them. So just keep turning them around. So they're nice and neat. And I'm just going to see why these bands are loose here. That one hasn't happened to me yet. So I'm just going to, basically, these bands are a bit tight here on this side and loose on the back. So if this happens, it's just because one side of your teardrops are loose and one side's tight. Okay, so now we're going to fix the ears. So you just want to bring them kind of to the top, both sides, and what you're going to do is press in the center with your finger, I'm using my thumb, and we're going to squeeze the ear down and just pinch the top down, or sorry, bend it down. And now on the other side, kind of put your finger through the middle, squeeze the sides, and bend down the top. Now I'm going to fix the neck area. So grabbing your hook, what we want to do is put our hook right through the neck. Sorry, I just hit the camera. From one end to the other. And now we're just going to bend this towards the back. So his head will kind of go up. Now I'm just going to fix the tail now a bit. Basically it's going down. We are just going to pinch the yellow bands here and bring it to stick up. Now if the bands are loose here at the bottom, again that's one side of the teardrop is a bit loose. Just going to fix the other side. And you can fix the tongue, pull out the face a bit, and these pieces here at the side, you just kind of want to push towards the back. Bend his body flat. And you can kind of bend his feet. And bottom of his mouth here, you can kind of push down. And he's pretty much done. You can just play around with him to sit. And I hope you enjoyed Looming with Cheryl. Please subscribe down below. I have a lot more designs to load, and I'll see you next time with another. Bye for now.